With us now is Moti Adika. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Nice meeting you, Richard.
So earlier in our program, we had an interview with a gentleman involved in security, alarm systems, and how technology has improved. But of course, you're in another area here. You're in firearms. And it's a controversial subject. Some people complain that the Second Amendment is not a good idea. People should not have the right to bear arms and so forth. But others say, hey, they can't be held responsible for what irresponsible people do. What are your thoughts on that?
I can tell you that the Second Amendment in the U.S. Constitution is one of the best things that ever happened to this country, and that's where we are today because of the Second Amendment. If you will go around the world and look at places that don't have the right of the citizen to bear arms, you will find totalitarian government who control the population and only criminals running around with firearms. In the United States, the law-abiding citizens are not the ones that committing crimes with the firearms. I think that we need to concentrate on existing laws and that we already have in this country and go and fight crimes. The problem that we have is not the type of firearms. It's not the type of magazines or how many rounds are in the magazines that committing crimes. It is the criminals.
I fully understand your points, and I also see that behind you, not only are you from Israel, but there's an Uzi on your rack right there. In fact, it brings to mind how in the 67 war, when Jerusalem was liberated, it was the 55th Division, Chatiba 55 paratroops, that liberated Jerusalem with 9mm Uzi submachine guns. What nostalgic thoughts does that piece of history bring to you?
It brings a lot of memories. I used to have one myself when I served in the Israeli militaries in the Sinai Desert. However, let me correct you, Richard. This is not a submachine gun, what you see on the wall. This is the civilian version of the Uzi, and this is a semi-automatic rifle that is fit and approved by the ATF for civilian use in the United States.
Well, I realize that now, and my question to you is, tell us a little bit more about your role opening a business here in Coral Springs, Florida. What exactly do you do with regard to training and safety and so forth?
I was always fascinated with firearms, and I like them. I'm a collector myself of different rifles and pistols. As an NRA certified instructor in 5 disciplines, I am able to teach civilians the use of handguns, shotguns, rifles, refuse to be victim courses, and they will feel comfortable on using firearms. Also consult them with choosing of the right type of firearm for the personal defense inside or outside the home. I think that people should have that right. If people don't have that right, only the criminals will be able to have guns.
Moti, before we conclude, I'd like to ask you to share with our audience a little bit about your background. You were born in Israel and you came to the United States a while ago. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in Israel, served in the military, and I came in here in 1972. And I opened several businesses. This is one of my ventures recently. It's almost a year old. And my son and I opened this gun shop, educating people. We are different than most gun shops around. We will spend time with our customers, educating them the right type of firearm to choose from. We teach fundamentals.
Do you get a lot of criticism for actually being a proponent of the firearms industry?
The criticism that the firearm industry is getting from liberal media and some others. The reason for that, I think, is lack of knowledge and experience and the fear of.
But you can understand, of course, you can understand that with all of the tragedies, these terrible crimes that have taken place with school children being killed, you certainly can understand how quite a few people feel that there need to be greater controls from their point of view.
Let me take this moment and give all my condolences to all of those, especially children. Firearm was used by people who was not qualified and was not supposed to have those firearms. However, we don't need additional laws. We need to concentrate on enforcing our existing laws and fight those criminals that committing those crime and using firearms in the process.
Well, I'm sure most people will understand and will agree with you. I want to wish you the very best. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Richard.